welcome to FountainFX on Thursday the 13th of March 2014. We're going to take more of an in-depth look at the Euro-US dollar today as price continues to push up. We're very much in a rally upwards. Some of this could be down to the growth in the US stock market, the S&P 500, etc. There is a correlation between weakness in the dollar and strength in the US stock market. However, let's just see exactly what's happening out there. There's been some major data out this afternoon, but before we look at that, we just want to look at some levels on the Euro-US dollar that you need to be aware of. So if I just quickly take a click over and have a look at the weekly chart. And from the weekly chart, if we just scroll back, we can identify a couple of key points here where price fell from. So these may potentially form areas of resistance at the 141.37 area, the 145 area as well, just above it. However, be aware of the fact that we are going back to November and August of 2011 for the last time price was at this level. Obviously, market makers, banks, etc. will have potentially changed their orders because of the length of time that's elapsed since then. So may or may not be considered a significant level, but we do need to be aware of it for in case price hits that level and then pulls back significantly. So I've now marked that on this particular chart, so we can now see those levels just above where price is. So they act as potential target levels for our trade going north as price continues to rally and push upwards. Let's take a look at a smaller time frame for other price activity that we need to be aware of. And what we can see is that this morning the Asians decided that they were going to get in on the act in terms of pushing price upwards. And before the Europeans opened the market here, this was the European Open, we had an Asian finish almost, where in the middle of their day they decided that Tokyo and Sydney were going to start pushing the price up, which they did. From the 139, they rallied it all the way up to the 139.40, whereas normally price just goes flat and sideways, as you can see. And so there's an opportunity to be able to take a trade from here. If we look when price is in a consolidated channel, what we can do is we can look at where price is above and below. And if we look here, we've got 139.10 roughly, and then 138.95. So it's roughly 15 points either side. We could look to place a buy order above and a sell order below. Now for that you need to use a buy stop order and a sell stop order. So that's an opportunity how you can trade when price is in channels. And then it rallies out, and what's actually happened if we flick over to the news, and what we see at 2:30 today was that there was core retail sales and unemployment claims. And core retail sales are up by 0.1%. Might not seem a lot, but if you think the forecast was 0.2%, that's actually a 50% increase on what was expected. If we also look at unemployment claims, it's a drop of around about 20,000 claims. In fact, 19 is the exact amount. So 20,000, it's a reduction of just over 5%. So it's actually looking more positive than expected for the US economy. Has that impacted the price of the euro against the US dollar? We should see some US dollar strength come in. And what we have seen is literally this candlestick formation here, the red candlestick, that has fallen, but it's only after we've seen already some decline in the euro-US dollar prior to the news report coming out. This is called expectation, waiting for the news so people start to take profits and wait for the information to be released. So price has pushed down into this area of the 139.40, where the Asian market rallied price up to, and then the European market, when it opened, took it from to push it up to the 39.60. So we've seen a 20-point decrease, and what's happening at the moment is price is trying to push up out of that area. We can go into a smaller time frame to try and get a clearer picture, and we can see that from here we have an area of support that's forming around about the 139.40, but you need to be aware of these wicks. That's showing buying pressure down here just below this area, and this is showing selling pressure. So actually we're in an area of indifference or indecision. Maybe what we would like to see is probably another bottom formation, a double bottom, potentially form off this 139.40 before we feel confident to then continue in the long. I'm really looking at price potentially coming down to the 139.30 area, 139.35 area down here. This price really rallied from this point this morning just after 8 o'clock. So for it to basically have the momentum to continue on up and hopefully break the 139.60. However, we can see there's some nice candlestick formations coming through here, and price is pushing up. But that's it for today with FountainFX. Happy trading, and we will talk to you tomorrow. Thank you very much.